Hey everybody, welcome back to the Retro 80 Painting Studio of Chuck Odd. Painting One Summer 2020. I like that better. I hope everybody's doing well. This is a tape I made a long time ago when I was living in Philadelphia after I got done Portland School of Art, and I had a studio there. And this is tapes I made of WKDU, the radio station in Philadelphia. I was too cheap to buy music. Anyway, we're going to turn it off. I hope you enjoy this selection of music. It's upbeat, energetic, and that's what I want going into this. So, here we go. Alright, there we go. Alright. So, we've been talking about setting up road markers and changing things around. So, let's get... I went into this with a game plan. And getting right to it, here it is. This gray here I made up is going to go there. This lighter gray is going to go there. And that darker gray is going to go there. Now, I made those decisions because I wanted to play with like putting down dark value and then putting a lighter value on top of it and vice versa. And see what happens. I also have a little bit of an idea of where I might end up in terms of how these grays work together and start to create surface undulation, visual weight, visual importance, all that stuff, while expanding my mark making vocabulary with how I use this thing. So I'm going to walk around the table and start over here. This is actually the bottom of the design. I want to keep it as this is the bottom. So I put that there so you guys could see the bottom. Alright, so we only have a few minutes, and so I'll probably work this one in here. And thinking about, visual weight and importance, crispness and clarity. I'm thinking about what I'm not sure I'm going to get once I start doing this. And I think about things like what's happening right there along that edge of that circle. What happens if I leave it as straight lines and not as a circle? How's that going to affect the design? Is it going to be interesting? Take it away from it? Add something to it? So I think about stuff like that. It's like, God, guys, it's like cooking. Oh, and I said to somebody I would talk about a food reference, and now I can't remember what it is. So I apologize about that. I think that came up in an individual Zoom meeting. And that might have been with Julia, but I am not sure. Or Priscilla. Anyway. So there we go, and you know what? If I'm up in here messing with this, I'm going to mess with it and see what I can get. Why not? I'm allowed to build texture. So let's see what happens if I try to build some kind of interesting texture in there, right? Not just put it in, go like, oh, it's filled in, it's done. Don't do that. All right, so we got that guy. I want to check to see how much time we have left, and I'll try to get in that guy, and then we'll see where this design goes. All right, we have 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. All right, we can get that in there. All right, back to this idea of playing with this. So now this totally changes that design big time, right? Now I'm going to go in here and see what happens. Oh, and so setting up road markers, it's just an idea. I just had an idea, and I want to see what happens with it. You know, think of cooking. Cooking had to start somewhere, right? Was there a cookbook out there? Oh, yes, for caveman. We're going to make a dinosaur au gratin. Here's the recipe. Oh, man. You had to figure it out, right? So, that's kind of what I'm saying about this. You're figuring it out. It's kind of like, how many spices and herbs do I add to this, right? Now, I'm liking the edge I got here. I'm liking that edge. And this is going to be the challenging edge. But I know I can go back in when I work that and cut that edge back in. So we'll just see where we go. There. There. We're going to ease up to that edge. There. There. Oh, this is what we'll do. We'll get some paint there and we'll get it. Yep, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to put the paint on the surface and move it around like that. right? It isn't a perfect thing from beginning to end. It's a process of getting there. And you know, everybody goes a different way. There we go. So I'm kind of liking that. Right? So there. So I think that took maybe 2 minutes. So there we go. That design has changed big time. But now let's see what happens with this. I'm going to check again. I should have a timer up. Right? The time is 2 minutes 30 seconds. All right. Let's see what happens. We'll start in the right hand and work left. All right. So I got my paint. I'm in here, here, here. I'm going to let it, I'm not going to make it perfectly flat. I want to build some texture. Right, I'm going to get more paint. I'm going to go in there, in there, in there, in there, in there, in there. I think I'm going to be able to get it. Yes, definitely. All right. There. So when we come back in the next video, I'll explain, have set up the same kind of process. I'm going to think about where I want to go with this, and then I'll be set up so we can work through it fast, and I can share thoughts with you about building a design like this. And when I look at this guy, I go, wow, this went on to directions that, you know what? That is whacked. I love it. Directions that I didn't think it would go. All right, so we'll see you shortly. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll have more mellow music the next time round. Thanks, guys.